Hello everybody, my name is Jeff Driver and welcome back to the show. It's been a while since we've been together, and we had one episode go out last week, which was just a really quick episode, but anyway, we are back, and this is Monday's episode. So anyway, I am, as you know, that Sigma is going through their president's election thing. And a few weeks ago, our very first week here, we did President's Week. So, right now, I'd like all of you to please welcome to one of our presidential candidates. Give it up for Tyler Prowazek. Hello, Tyler.
It's pretty bad out there right now. It's storming pretty bad. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some technical difficulties going on because of the storm. It's pretty bad out there. It's raining. My cab driver almost ran us off the road a couple of times.
Is it still raining?
I mean, it's not as bad. It lightened up.
What about now?
I don't think I hear the rain anymore.
Neither do I. So, hello Tyler, how's it going?
Well, I mean, it's going pretty good. I watch this show a lot, and I've really wanted to be a guest.
Well, that's awesome. We're happy to have you on the show. You know, Jay Vallon actually on our first week, which was President's Week, did a segment with you in it. Did you see that episode?
I saw that segment.
Tell us, give us your reaction.
Offended.
Oh, really? Tell us more.
I was pretty offended, and I mean, I don't like to start. I don't like to start anything like most people do, so I didn't really say anything. But if you want me to clarify a couple of the things, I can.
Yes, I think we would love that.
Well, I mean, for starters, all the events that happened with the bombings and you know, there's a real state of a couple of the buildings in the city and a couple of families that are out of homes. And being working for Captain Construction, you know, really all we wanted to do was help people. So we got a call from Mr. Vallon about his company business, and we had to kind of put it on the sidelines because we needed to help families out rebuilding their homes. We got calls of people whose houses were blown up for bombs and didn't have required shelter, they didn't have food, they didn't have water, they didn't have anything. And I figured, right, Mr. Vallon's a very wealthy man, so I figured that he would probably be able to help himself for at least a few days, right? I didn't assume that he would, you know, I didn't think that he would get as uptight as he did.
Absolutely. So, Freedom McCarthy is a big topic in Stickmon right now. Tell us your opinions on him. There's lots of good and bad going around. What do you think about him?
I mean, I think that he's a nice guy. You know, I mean, we occasionally do things. However, he's not a very good presidential candidate. Along the lines of things he promises aren't really accomplishable. He's one of those people that kind of talks about things off the top of his head that seem like good ideas, but he doesn't ever really plan them out.
No, and a lot of us have actually started to find that if you actually do go back into a lot of speeches that he's done, most of the things he says are false, and not true. However, he has said one thing that the studio was very grateful for. He's offered to give us about $10,000 into Gollywood, and some of that money even goes to the studio here. So in return, we got him a new Slop-In Shop. Tell us, do you think he's going to hold up his end of the bargain?
I mean, I think that, you know, previous him owning the Stop and Shop, he's a good businessman, right? Like, he's a good person, but he's just not a good president. He's not a person that you would want to follow.
Absolutely. So there are some allegations against him though, being like responsible for the Chinatown terrorist attack. What do you have to say on that?
I mean, it's just, it really is just a long line of allegations against him now at this point. He runs the line of being a potential criminal, and I don't think that that's someone that I personally would want to follow.
So, but do you believe
I
it though?
think
Is my question. Do you believe he actually
I
is?
I, I mean, I've known him for a very long time, and it is definitely something that he was capable of. However, I have no proof. I speculate that he was a part of it, but I don't want to point any fingers.
Well, tell us about your or actually more about him. Did you see his rape allegation that was against him?
I've heard a lot about this. It's definitely something on the streets that's a big deal, and knowing freedom and things that, because we were friends at one point, and the problems that he's had, I believe that with the reach that he has and the money that he has, that he would definitely try and get away with something like that.
How much money do you think he has?
Oh, definitely not as much as me. I'm very confident though that he has a decent stack of cash, which he is most likely to abuse.
Well, he has reported that, like, he personally reported that he had lots of money, but according to the National Bank of Stickmon, he's actually $30,000 in debt to them and the Stickmon Tower. So, how do you feel about that? Do you believe that he's $30,000 in
Well,
debt and still spending money?
I 100% believe it. Actually, this is a great topic because based on his candidate video and tons of other videos, things that he says are bad for us.
Absolutely.
He'll
Can you
he'll
give some
say
examples?
things. He'll say things such as he'll promise free things to the city, which would actually make us in more debt and raise the taxes. So I think that he's not very financially smart, and it wouldn't be hard for him to become in debt or make us in debt.
So you seem to know a lot about finances and stuff, and you're obviously running for president here. Actually, tell us before we get into that, where were you for the past few months that this has been going on?
Well, I've been doing a lot of things actually. First, I'd like to clear up the thing that I found it very disrespectful. Mr. Valen commenting on him not seeing me on Father's Day, because not a lot of people know, but my father passed away, so I was actually attending a memorial service, which once again, it seems that all Mr. Valen cares about is his company, because he makes all these allegations against me,
Sorry about that. That's some technical
but
difficulties.
he never really learns what the problem is.
Well, we're really sorry about your father. But getting back to my other topic, you seem to know a lot about the economy and how money works and stuff, and you're obviously running for president of this country. Tell me, or tell all of us actually, to those at home, what are your plans after, if you get elected into office? What do you plan to do to benefit us?
Well, I've got a very big policy on the terms of, I believe that everyone starting off in the city and performing and trying to create a business is a huge part of building a city, because most of the buildings that we see in the city right now are a dream. They're someone's dream, and there's someone's company that they wanted to make one day. And I want to make it easier for people to develop themselves. Now, saying this, I'm not going to promise a bunch
Yeah,
of
thank you. Sorry, continue.
I'm not going to promise a bunch of things that I can't fulfill. However, one of the things that I've revealed so far in my campaign is my tax plan, and I plan on making the richer pay a little bit more taxes and the poor pay a little bit less taxes, because I feel like that's fair and it's gonna help develop things.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I mean, when I was starting off in Captain's Construction, you know, it wasn't about money. I've always had a dream to develop things. And I feel that I have the qualifications to develop us into a greater city. And actually, I've recently quit Captain Construction
Oh, did you? I thought you were
to focus.
CEO, co-CEO.
I mean, I was co-CEO, but I resigned and gave up ownership because I want to focus more on the city. And really, I think it's much more important, because if there's no city, there's no company in the first place.
Absolutely. So, does this mean you're going to be starting your own company now?
I mean,
You're just staring
it's a
out into the audience.
possibility. I have a passion for creating things, but I haven't really thought of it.
Well, you should, because I just think it would be amazing. Really quickly though, before we're out of time, I just wanted to go over a few more things. So you've told us already what you plan to do with taxes, and that you also want to build some more things. But there was something I was going to bring up. I can't quite remember it at the moment. But tell us about I don't know, gun laws are starting to become a big thing. People want to carry arms with them. They want to be safe. Freedom McCarthy says that he wants guns and stick 'em on, and he says that it's going to lower crime rate by 25%, which is not a big percent. Actually, 25% is a huge percentage. The only problem is talking to other economists of the city and people that know about these things. They say that crime and violence with guns will initially
Uh,
skyrocket. They think it's going to go up a vast percentage. What are your opinions on this?
well, well, I have some strong opinions on this aspect of subject, and well, number one, personally, I feel that personal safety pays, right? It's definitely something that will strengthen our economy, because people are willing to pay for their safety. Now,
Okay, yeah.
I believe that if you're a criminal, you know, mentally a psychopath, all they care about is
So,
hurting
so,
people. You
sorry a
know,
minute. We're having a bit of
they,
technical difficulties. Hang on a minute.
yeah, the storm,
Okay, so, oh, is it the storm? Is that bad?
it's pretty bad.
Okay, is the storm still here?
Uh, I think it's blown over.
Oh, okay. Anyway, sorry. Continue what you were saying.
Well, in the mind of a psychopath, they only care about not getting hurt, right?
I
If
guess
you
so.
want a gun illegally, you're gonna be able to get it illegally no matter what. All that restricting guns is gonna do is take it away from the people who want to legally obtain a gun and protect themselves.
I guess that's true.
I mean, if you're willing to go through the process of getting a gun illegally, then you're probably willing to do a lot worse.
Absolutely, I think that makes a lot of sense. Um, we are going to take a short break, and then we will be back in a bit. So, Tyler Pratchett, everybody. Welcome back. I am with my fantastic guest Tyler Proshek, and we were just talking about the gun laws and how we feel that the state of Stickbond, that guns should be accepted. Now, personally, I am pro guns, and I'm glad you are too. Really quickly, because we are almost out of time. Tell me, because you've actually made your second campaign video, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, it went pretty well.
That's fantastic. Anyway, voting starts today. One of the voting polls start today. They're open at just about any public location. Probably definitely the City Hall. Anyway, according to YouTube polls, Freedom McCarthy is doing the best. However, we don't know what's going to happen with the actual city polls. So tell me, if you could rank every candidate, where would you fall? Do you think?
Well, you see, I feel like the thing is, I believe that arguing and fighting isn't going to help anything. So I haven't really involved myself that much, and I feel like there's a lot of people that don't really understand my policies, so I'm very underrated, which doesn't bother me, because I'm confident in my ability. I
That's good. It's always good to be confident. That's what we need in Stickbond. We need a confident president.
I feel as though freedom is gonna fall off the top very soon.
Well, why do you say that? Because
Well,
if you think about it,
everything-
all of these allegations that have been brought up against him since day one, he's still in the top. He's still in the top. So, tell us, why do you think he's going to fall? What do you think is going to change, for lack of
Well,
better
number
word?
one, I'm here, which adds a calculated, because I think about my actions before I say them. And the thing about freedom is most of the things that everyone supports about him are and he's just came up with. So the moment everyone realizes it, his credibility is going to go down significantly.
That is true, actually. So, what about Mr. What's his name again? Colt Luca. He was away for a while, like you. However, he was out in a different country, helping other people in different countries that aren't doing so well for themselves. So, how do you think he's going to fall? And he was, I think, like
Well,
third or fourth last, but now he's moved up a bit.
you know, I feel like the effort to support things is a great show of a great person, and I think that he's gonna increase in popularity, and I support him. I think that he definitely has better points than Freedom, and he deserves to be rated higher.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight's show. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Proshek, and we hope to see all of you on the next episode. Goodbye, everybody, and drive safely.